right. So today is going to be sort of a after and before video. I'll have yesterday's footage after the lesson today, and you can kind of see, you'll be able to see for yourself the difference in the walking, the quality of the walk. But the main thing I wanted to explain to you before we do anything else is about clicking, using the clicker. Now I'm clicking him, I use the clicker and it's followed by food. And that clicker marks what it is that I like. Now you can set that criteria for anything that you like. Commonly when I'm walking with dogs, I'm clicking for eye contact. Not that I want them to stare at me, but I do want them to be checking in with me pretty regularly. I find that when they're checking in with me, I don't really have to worry so much about where they are in relation to, if they're a little ahead of me, a little behind me, it doesn't really matter. They're checking in with me, so they want to stay in proximity of my leg. But anyway, I'm doing that sometimes with checkers, and then also sometimes I'm working with keeping his feet on the ground, keeping his feet on the floor. So I may ask for maybe the count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and if his feet are on the ground, I'm going to click that. So I'm looking for a series of steps where he's where I want him to be, which is with the feet on the ground. So we'll play with that a little bit. So when you're clicking, I'll kind of go along and explain to you what I'm clicking for, what my criteria is, because that can change at time. And dogs are so smart that they get that. You can change in midstream and say, oh, nope, changing the rules, I'm going to click for something else. And they totally get that. So anyway, I will start playing with that a little bit right now. All right. Good job. I love how he's starting already looking at me. So I'm already going to feed that. Yes, it's here. He says, did you drop it? There it is. All right, so when I take off, I'm going to make kind of a big, you can only see him, but I'm going to make kind of a big body motion that means, okay, we're taking off. And the phrase that I use is with me. Ready? Yeah, check. Here we go. With me. Oh, you're so cute. So that's a few steps in a row with all feet on the ground. So I'm going to feed that. You're so great. Whoop. He says, I fell in the gutter. With me. He switched sides. I'm not too worried about that. I'm fine with that. Again, I'm not too concerned about where he is in relation to me. What I do want is a loose leash. I just want this J shape in the leash. As long as I've got looseness, that's all I really care about. All right, with me. He's always so dramatic when he takes off. With me. So I'm waiting for 4 steps in a row without the jumping. The jumping is adorable, but I don't really want to, I don't want to necessarily reward that. I think I'm going to tighten up my leash just a little bit. I'm going to let him sniff around for a second, then I'm going to tighten up that leash. Bring him in a little bit closer. As a puppy, I really don't mind if he does a little bit of exploring, because that's, him getting used to the world. There are genuinely new things that he hasn't seen before. Good boy. Because of my problems yesterday, I'm just going to make sure that that this is working as it should be. Okay, so again, a nice series of good steps. Yes. And I like when he looks up at me. Good. Go. With me. Yes. Again, he kind of flips over to the side. I'm okay with that. I'm just not going to treat it as much. So I'm going to get another little bit of food here. With me. Again, the jumping, that's okay. But I'm looking for four steps in a row. Yes, of the feet on the ground. I'm also clicking for the eye contact. He's really doing nicely with that. Yes, good boy. Very nicely. Okay, and with me. Very nice. I'm clicking him every time he looks up. I don't know if you can see that from where you're at. Yes. But because he's so small, he has his tilt of the head up toward me. Oh, did you find something? Sometimes it's just like he gets an idea in his mind and it just makes him happy, so he bounds off. He's carrying, there. I'm going to go ahead and feed that. He's kind of staring at me, but that's okay. Go ahead and feed that. Nice, nice loose leash. He's doing some checking back with me, like, where are you at? Why are you going slow? And we'll dial that in together. Yes, a little more with me. Yeah, and then we'll turn. Very nice. Very nice. With me. Yeah. Nice. I love him looking up. Yeah, and I love his placement. Yeah, good boy. And you can see how that placement just kind of happens naturally, just because he's being reinforced for being on my left side. And he's like, oh, this is a great place to be. He likes to run up on the yard and sniff a little bit. Again, I don't mind a little bit having a few breaks, having him sniff. I want him to enjoy the walk. But when it's time to go, it's time for him to get back into place. So I kind of make that big body gesture. Checkers, with me. Yes, good boy. And I'm actually going to reward that, because even though he's a little bit off the sidewalk, he's really checking in close. There's a dog barking, and he's hanging in through that distraction, which I love. There are leaves I can hear. He used to love to go after the leaves, but yes, he's doing fantastic without bothering with the leaves. With me. Super good. You're a good boy. You're amazing. He just gets it. When he's got a good, when he's moving well and he's concentrating, he just moves into this beautiful little parade dog. Now there's a leaf. That makes it hard for him. With me. And that's just being a young puppy. Leaves are genuinely new. Flipping things around are a little bit distracting. But I'm okay with that. He's a baby. Yes. Yes. With me. Yep. And he's going back to the left, where he's been said many, many times. Here you go, pup. I still got it. Go. Okay, with me. Good boy. He's looking at me, so even though he's up on the grass, I'm going to feed him. With me. You are a cutie, mister. I just have to tell you. Yes. Very nice. So he's just getting a nice walk. And as I said, this will kind of be the after. You'll be able to see how he was yesterday. This is quite a large improvement from yesterday. With me. Not to mention my microphone works this time. Yeah, not to mention. It's so nice. Yeah, you're amazing. Now the idea with this clicking, by the way, is before I was clicking pretty often. I'm starting to go longer and longer in between clicks. Yes. The idea being over time, you really don't have to click and treat anymore at all, because he just has this general good feeling about being next to you. He's been treated there so many times that it's just kind of a joyful place for him to be. There. Just by the way, I just changed that criteria there. I clicked, he went up on the grass, and I clicked him when he came back on the sidewalk. So that's another thing you can do. You can, again, kind of change the rules in the middle. Very nice. And they get it. Dogs are just amazing, especially a dog like this. Yes, you are. Okay, do one more little pass with me. This way. Yes, very nice. Good job. All right, thank you. Good boy. You're amazing. All right, sweet friend. Okay, obviously, Checkers is short, so I'm going to focus this video down on him, down close to the ground, so you can see what we're doing. The main thing as we're walking outside is that I want to treat him for looking at me like that. I was late just then. When he looks at me, I'm going to click the clicker and I'm going to give him a snack. And in that way, he's going to learn that it's always a good idea to check in with me and look at me, because that's the way you're going to get going to get a nice partnership. So I'm not a real big stickler about whether he's a little bit in front, a little bit behind. I don't really care. What I want is to have a nice out, not in a good place. What have you, or what I'm going to be doing is the treatment looks at me. I get the treatment, even though there's all these other people. The phrase I use, by the way, is different. Yeah. So, I'm going to be ready to see where I'm going to click it and give them a click. The clicking marks what I like, and because they enjoy that, they obviously enjoy getting fed after the click, they start to really listen for that click. Yes. Yes. So that's the look he was looking for. With me. Checkers. When he's stuck looking at something, I'm going to let him go ahead and take all that in, because a lot of things are genuinely brand new. But yes, good boy. But after he's looked a little bit, with me, we're going to head on down the road. Yes, with me. With me. Yes, you're amazing. Amazing. So he's giving me a lot of attention and focus. Being close to my leg, that's when he's going to want to go. Oh yes, we have floating leaves. That's super fun. Yeah. He gets this beautiful little parade dog kind of trot. Yes, you're so good. You're so good. Yippee. Good boy, Chicks. You're so amazing. This way. Look at you, Chicks. Cars are going by and I'm going to let him watch. I love when he takes the time to watch. Let me get you connected. Okay. With me. With me, Chicks. Yeah, Chickers. Look at you. Nice. With me. Good boy. Yeah. Yes. He's just so joyful. He's just so much fun. Sometimes puppies just come up and they don't want to move forward. So if that ever happens to you, I just tend to roll a little food in front of them like this. Checkers. Just kind of roll it in front, kind of work that forward momentum. Yes. But he's got great forward momentum. He's amazing. Yeah, you're like a parade dog. I think you're amazing. Yes, you are. right, good boy. So just wanted to give you a little idea about what we're working on. You're so amazing. Yes, you are.